We do still have those unsolved torso murders.
Oh,
claim to fame. Yes.
Jesus.
Mothman's got nothing on Cleveland.
Welcome back to Shattered Worlds RPG. I'm your Loremaster, Jeff. And with me this fine evening, we got Anthony.
Hello.
AJ.
Hi.
And joining us for the first time from over on our D&D side quest, it's Kristy.
Hello.
Heck yeah. We haven't had a new person in a while. And so I'm excited to see how this develops. We talked about some stuff before, questions and things. So anyway, if at any point we need to answer questions, just ask us and we'll do that. So why don't I do a last time on? And if I forget anything, y'all can jump in. How's that sound?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Last time, our heroes engaged the enemy, the secret controller, who turned out to be a Zentraedi in like a red coat and armor. And our team went down into the engine room, which was enormous. It's and it was enormous, and there were all these like servers and things that they went to look and find out the source of an explosion. They found the site. They discovered that somebody had taken the black box recorder out of its holder in the engine room, and then you realized that they hadn't yet escaped. And so you pursued them, this woman, up the outside of the sort of central pillar, engine tube or whatever you call that. And then they came out to the top and they discovered that there were all these vines and shit on the outside of the tower. And up on top, there were more, and they shot at the controller. The controller got up there. They chased. They had a cool fight. There was a giant snake involved, and then she jumped off the side with some reckless dive, and then our team followed her down. Trav blew up like an unmanned aerial vehicle. It was like an armor suit that turns into a speeder bike. Just crashed that thing, destroyed it. And she got away. And I think that's it. Oh, and then they reunited with the colonists and got a call from somebody back at the colony that they haven't met yet in person. And I think that was where we ended it, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So our heroes are reunited with the other colonists. Let's call it you're in the security room. Or no, sick bay. We'll say y'all met up in sick bay. And you see Norv and Kihar dragging in the Terusians, and they're like all, chained up, and they found a hover cart with a force field generator. So like all four of them are stuck inside there. Oh no, I guess three. The Gillamorian was killed. So yeah, that they look all dejected and angry.
Those were the dudes trying to break in, right?
The ones from your car that beat up Kihar and tried to get across the river.
The competent party.
Oh, yeah, the competent adventuring party. That's right.
Oh, we didn't kill them? All right.
No, they were being held in the brig.
Okay.
So once Kihara and Norv realized that communications were restored and the colony was going to send some people down here, you're all meeting up. And so you're like, you have a screen up showing you the intake output area where the motor pool. And you see several colony vehicles going down the tunnel towards you, and then they pull into the motor pool. And Norv says, guys, give me a minute. And he walks out of the room, and you watch on the cameras as he heads to the motor pool, and he meets up with the colonists. So yeah, Executive Officer Soraya Sten. She's a Zentraedi sailor, current chair of the Colony Development Board. They are sort of aloof and possibly uptight. Then you've got a scientist-looking dude in a lab coat. This is Ronil. Oh, by the way, Dylan is explaining. Dylan and Halim are filling in these blanks. Ronil Hilikon, Yifriti scientist and engineer, is Soraya's second in command. She's a real hard ass, but everyone respects her. She's missing a leg, and so she uses a hover chair. And Beverly Bonifacio, Zentraedi rogue, colony security chief. And Manu the Confident, or actually, he's now goes by Manu the Strong. He was her lieutenant, and he's the one that broke away and created the night fires. And those are the three that step out of the golf carts, and their security team comes out with them. And they meet up with Norv, and he explains the situation. Dylan asks you if you want to pull up the sound.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So you get some inside knowledge about these folks. I'll let you see I've got some Google Docs here. For next time, I'll rope you in. Or if we take a break, I can send these to you. And yeah, so basically they're shocked that there's people from off planet. You know, they assume you're here to rescue them and reconnect them with galactic civilization. They're also shocked that the war's over and has been over for 20 years. And they're actually kind of pissed. And Norv is talking you up as like honorable, moral people. And you've captured these criminals and killed one of them in a firefight, or actually it was a mistletoe beatdown that became a drowning. And that's pretty much their debrief, and then they're going to come meet you in person.
All right, very important question, because I'm stupid and may have forgotten. Is this the first time we're figuring out that they are 20 years in the past?
It is, yes. Well, no, you've talked to Dylan about it, but not their leaders. This is the first time they're learning of it.
So this is the first time that they're figuring out that the war's been over for 20 years. But this isn't our first time realizing that they've been disconnected for so long that they have no clue.
No, you learned that pretty quickly. I believe Norv and Abby filled you in.
Okay.
They were super excited to hear any news, and I think they seemed so happy that they weren't really angry, whereas the leaders clearly are pretty pissed off.
All right.
And Norv's the foragers' security leader, so that's probably why he's briefing them. And then Dylan, as soon as they start coming, Dylan switches off the sound and, kind of sits up in his chair and acts like he wasn't breaking security protocols or whatever. And Abby gives him a look like, goofy kid. So yeah, these leaders come in and they greet y'all. So I feel like I should role play this, but yeah, so I'll say the security chief talks to you first. Beverly Bonifacio, Zentraedi. She's like most Zentraedi, tall and thin and with a elongated head and kind of a bluish cast to their skin and piercing violet eyes. And she comes in first with a few guards who look like they haven't really had any gun training. They're the closest thing they have to hardcore bodyguards. And yeah, she's got long black hair and she looks real tough. And she says, "Who's in charge here?"
Did we ever figure that out?
Abby and Norv look at the three of you. And Kihar's like, "I thought it was her." And he points at Missile and she smiles all like kind of goofily. And she says, yeah, I'm in charge. Right? Yeah, I mean, that's why I always bring snacks. And then she offers snacks to this lady. And she just stares at her like, what the hell is going on?
Missile, you're in charge of punching and snacks and conflict resolution.
Oh, yeah, we have a distributed leadership thing we're doing. I'm sort of, in charge of punching.
I'm surprised she knew distributed leadership.
She's been reading up, in her off time.
She's been reading books on management.
I've been letting her take books out of my dimensional inventory.
Hell yeah. The CEO and you. That's a good one. Space economics 101.
Spaceonomics.
There you go. That's much better. Okay, so she is like, well, we'll need you to take off your arms and sweep you for any explosives or other contraband, and her two goons come forward.
Alecto looks at her arms very confused.
Same here.
Oh, it looks like this one's arms are registered as deadly weapons. So we'll have to give you a special license. No, I'm kidding. Nobody does that.
I've never tried to take my arms off. Is this something that you guys do a lot here?
So they just look at you and look back at her, and she gives them a look like continue, and they pat you down, and Missile giggles while they pat her down.
Oh, guns. I don't normally use guns. Do I have any guns on me right now?
If you do, I didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down either.
I don't think I've been keeping a treasure list, but I should.
I think the only thing I have is that code key.
Yeah, the code key. Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely stripped all the weapons off the criminals, off the Terusians, but you probably kept them.
Oh, wait. I take off the hammer gloves.
Ah, yes. The Hammerfield gloves. Yeah, you take those off. They're these cool, like, blue and silver things, and you hand them to the goon, and he looks them over, and he hands them back to you and gives her the thumbs up.
I own headphones and a cracked mobile device.
Nice.
And I try to hand those over.
They run a device over your devices to see if they're compromised with, computer shit.
Yeah.
Trojans, worms, explosive code. I don't know. You're clean. And the goons go back, and Beverly shouts back at her people to come forward.
Wonderful. I put the hammer gloves back on and punch Alecto in the arm. Heel turn, bitches!
So the others come in. The other two leaders, Soraya Sten and Ronil Hillikun, the scientist. So he's got all kinds of questions for you about your inventory, any tools you might have, or comm devices. And Missile shows hers, and she can't get signal out to any Wi-Fi, satellites or anything. There's like this weird ionization field. And as far as you know, there weren't any contact, what would you call those, buoys out there? It was just that weird train kind of track.
There weren't any like satellites.
Yeah, those things might have connections, since like people would have to work outside on them occasionally, so it would be good for them to have a hub. That's what it is, a network hub.
Yeah.
But if that exists, you haven't been able to contact it since you came down, since you crashed.
Yeah, no. We found out pretty quickly that we didn't have any way of all of our comms were down, so.
So Ronil's that's the scientist, is looking over your business, and so Soraya says, our security man tells me you are from off-world.
We were at a convention when all this happened.
Her eyes widen. She's like, convention? That's bizarre. But she plows on. She says, did you know we were here?
Absolutely not. This was fully an accident.
And this convention? Were people there told about us? Was this some sort of intelligence operation?
We were on a party. We were on a party train, essentially, and some terrorists attacked it, and we crash landed here, and that's the end of this. The whole story.
Terrorists.
Why do you think I'm dressed like this? Would this be like something? And she points at her dancer's outfit.
That's
Like,
right.
is this something I would wear to some kind of crazy spy?
Tell me about these three. And she points at your prisoners, the Terusian.
Oh, the assholes.
agents.
Yeah.
They're assholes.
I can see that. What is their origin? Who do they come from?
Out of character, I don't remember. They're like a mercenary team.
House Terusian is one of the three most influential houses among the Lunari elite. They have holdings all over the Lunari logosphere, which is what they call their sort of colony borders, but most especially on Calustria and Calustria City, the capital city specifically. You couldn't get exactly why they were on the train, but it had something to do with getting intel on this elite group that was meeting to trade plans or like get involved in some off-books project.
So they were the ones involved in the spy shit, and we didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, is there maybe some 20-year-old beef between these people and the Terusians?
It's a funny question. Soraya she whispers to one of her people, and they start texting somebody, presumably a Lunari expert, back at the colony. Finally, she gets the information, and she says, "Ah, yes, one of the powerful houses. We have a few Lunari here that have survived, and they tell us that House Terusian is connected with some dangerous activities, rumors of all sorts of criminal activity."
Yeah, House of Assholes. We said that.
But once again, the Terusian agents are totally tight-lipped and don't feel like answering any more questions. "Do you have any questions for us?" Soraya says.
I mean, not a whole lot. We know that wherever we are, it's been kind of disconnected from everything. I mean, not unless there's something you feel it's important for us to know.
"Let's save it for the reunion dinner." And she smiles and shakes Norv and Abby's hands and says, "You've done good work, team." And Kihar is all like, embarrassed for the praise. For a giant Vorak, he seems very timid around his leader. And then she says, "And thank you for helping my team escape the Skull Jaguars. We don't know what their aims were, but they are dangerous."
Not very good. They kept missing.
Norv says, "Yeah, I don't think they were trying to kill us, or things would have been much, much worse." So, yeah, she invites you back to the colony. They'll throw a big dinner. We'll introduce you to everyone. They're super excited, and they can't wait to hear what's been going on in the outside galaxy. And let's cut over.
Me too.
As y'all are loading into the golf carts to head back to civilization, we will cut over to Kristy's character, Zentraedi Doctor. "Yo, this is really embarrassing, but I kept calling Keziah Josiah, so just pretend I didn't do that, and everything will be fine."
Keziah.
Josiah, that's that. I couldn't remember your name.
Keziah.
So Josiah, you've been trekking through the jungle for the last day or so with survivors of this plane crash. It was a space train. The cars separated and yours crashed near the edge of this continent. It broke in half. A bunch of people fell down this ravine and were killed. So I'm going to say it's 8 of you. And some of you are gangsters, like from Antares. There's this guy, Papa Junzel. He's been injured. And his chief lieutenant is named Zed.
I forgot about Papa Johnson.
Yeah, you did.
Better space pizza, better space ingredients. Papa Johnson.
Yeah. So yeah, you treated the wounded and you helped organize a party to go into the jungle to find shelter, food, stuff like that. You've had to fight some large fauna. Somebody got injured falling into a spike trap. There were poisonous snakes and bugs and spiders. Whole bunch of shit going on. So you've come in all bedraggled into this clearing, and you see this bunker kind of concrete biz sticking out of the clearing, and Zed shouts to you, What do you make of it?
This environment is highly unsanitary. I suggest we go inside.
All right, Papa, you good to walk here? And he groans and slides off the hover seat and walks towards the thing. You see a camera eye above the entrance here, and you can tell that it's on. There's like a red light or something.
Okay.
Inside it's dark. There's stairs.
Is there I have an investigation. I don't really know if that would.
Yeah, give us an investigation check. So you'll add your light stat, and you'll add 2 because you have the skill, and then 2 for each bonus rank if you have any.
Okay. So you have an 18 naturally. So that's
nice.
Math is good. That's 25.
Okay, you're pretty good at investigating. Do you have any tools for this sort of thing? Or is it just your eyeballs?
Just my eyeballs. My weird
so you're scanning the deal.
Eyeballs.
Pretty sure that's a camera. You see a thing off in the stone to your left that must be a speaker. There's a pressure plate just under the arch. You don't know what it
Probably
does,
not
but
good.
it might just turn on lights in the staircase. You're not sure.
Is there a rock or anything nearby?
Yeah, tons of rocks. You got a rock.
Okay. Is it a heavy enough rock that if I were to toss it under the pressure plate, it would make it go off?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you find a pretty big one, and you hunker over and toss it down, and it drops, and sure enough, a bunch of lights turn on inside the staircase. No obvious signs of poison gas or crossbow trap or anything like that.
Okay. I do not know any other way to ensure that this is safe. However, it appears to be safe.
Okay, so it's Zed, Papa Junzel, a couple of goons, and we'll say one of the bartenders from the train car. And yeah, there's some families back at the train car, and you're sort of the advance team.
Okay.
So yeah, do you want to go in front, or do you want to send some of the gangsters up front?
Is there a really big, meaty, stupid guy? Someone she probably wouldn't think too highly of.
Yeah, this is Landon.
Okay, Landon can go first.
Yeah, big square head and beady eyes.
Landon, I suggest you go first.
Okay, sure. And he draws his station pistol and slides towards the pressure plate, and he looks back at y'all, and then he steps on it. And I guess it's okay. And he waves y'all in and heads down the stairs. So
Funko Pop looking motherfucker.
So I'll just skip the boring bits. You go downstairs, you find a sort of network of tunnels. At some point you get bottled up in a room that turns out to be sort of a shooting gallery with arrow slits between paintings and secret entrances and shit. It's all white walls and white floor. And you hear out of a speaker somebody say, "Stop right there," and the door shuts behind y'all.
Okay. Oh, I forgot I have my thingy. Oh, well.
Your what?
My chip. I forgot about it.
Oh yeah, hit me a direct message. It's if you want to do anything secretive.
Well, we would have had to go backwards. She probably wouldn't have shown these guys what she can do anyway. She's just a doctor to these guys.
Okay.
Okay. Well, stop. I'm just a doctor.
The other guys, they all have their guns out, and except for the bartender. And she, I just forgot that y'all have Alvin with you. He's just this ordinary civilian. He's a real putz. So the bartender is similarly just a regular guy. So yeah, the bartender looks spooked. The other guys have their guns out, and the person says, "Just a doctor, huh? Who are your friends?"
Would I have any reason not to introduce them?
No, yeah, you're like, this is Papa Junzel, this is Zed Manelli, and assorted people. The bartender's name is Fanit. They are Lunari, and sort of a tall, blonde hair, real skinny, and sort of fabulous, sort of fancy. They have a feather boa, and quite handsome gentleman. So you introduce these folks, and then the voice is kind of quiet, and then they're like, we've been ordered to let you in and introduce you to the colony. So our security leader will come greet you soon. And after about a half hour, that same lady from the other scene, Beverly Bonifacio, greets you and asks you a bunch of questions, and then says, well, you're in luck. Some of your other fellow passengers arrived not too long ago. Perhaps you know them. You don't know them. You could ask, like, Zed and the others might know. They might have been holding out on you.
Gotcha. Who are they?
Zed goes, yeah, describe them for me. There were a lot of people on that train. And the lady pulls out her device and turns the screen. It's like a holographic screen that floats in the air. She spins it around for y'all. And 3 faces. And these were the entertainers that came through the car right before a whole big fight broke out and bombs started going off. But yeah, they ran into the color. The cars were color themed. So yours was red, orange this way, and then purple farther down. That was like a dance floor situation. And they were shooting and shit. There was a chainsaw wielded at one point. And then these cats just raced down the car past y'all, up to no good, presumably. And they appear to have landed safely. So that's interesting. And Zed goes, I know those cats. They came through the car. You remember? And Junzel's like, And the bartender's like, yes, I remember them. They were so cool. One of them did magic. And the security lady's like, that's weird. And says, well, magic or no, we've been instructed to welcome you to the colony. Welcome to Deverakar. And she, the goons kind of line up behind y'all, and she ushers you in to the colony. And so, after all that setup, you arrive at the home compound of the Deverakar colony. There's like neatly tended blue lawns and like kind of Quonset hut situations with long sort of half submerged tunnels between each one. Some are very large. There's like silos and cool like catwalks as like vantage points. There's these sort of round areas with chairs that you can stop and then keep walking. And these catwalks go out into the jungle, sort of above the treetops. And yeah, it's pretty big. There's like 2,000 people. So all of them are up in your face trying to like get your attention, asking you questions about where you came from and what's out there. Meanwhile, the leaders are trying to get you past them because you got places to be and shit. But yeah, if you want to interact with any of the villagers, now's your chance.
I can only answer one question at a time. This is not a logical way to conduct a conversation.
Yeah, Papa Junzel says. And he starts handing out sweets to the kids. And he's like, yeah, we're happy to answer all the questions you got, but I think we have to meet with your leaders first. And the kids are like, yay! And the parents are sort of hanging back, frightened. There's way more people of like 30 and up than there are kids. So you think the colonists must have come here and then had kids and not brought any to begin with. Yeah, so let me think. But yeah, just huge crush of people. Somebody's putting up a stage near the largest structure, and you get led up a ramp and into a sort of audience chamber with like fancy chairs and pretty pictures on the walls, and there's a little buffet with finger foods, cucumber sandwiches, and so on. And they get to work kind of chatting with y'all and getting to know you.
She kind of, not impolitely, but, in her very poor bedside manner kind of way, is like pushing people away.
Nice.
as they move along, she's nice, but she's not that nice.
Cool. So everybody except the prisoners gets led into this kind of audience chamber.
And by everybody, is this AJ and I as well? And have we noticed Papa
Yes.
Junzel? And
yeah, so as you come in, you come like different ramps, and you come into the place and you see this large old Yifriti mobster guy in a reddish gray suit, and you remember him from the party where you left to go on a spaceship, that party where you saw your where Alecto saw her old friend from back at the monastery. That party. I can't remember the name of the club, but yeah, it was a big party at the convention. So you see him, and then you see Zed, who you did magic for when you dumped a bunch of water on him and you. And he's like a big, broad-shouldered, handsome guy, brown hair. And his, you see some of his goons that you remember from the party. And then you see this striking Zentraedi lady. You can describe yourself if you would like. Now's the time.
Sure. So Keziah, she is short for a Zentraedi. She has, like, her fiber optic skin is very pale. She's very obviously heavily modified with cybernetics. She has some kind of sleek but obvious kind of unit of some kind, kind of grafted onto one of her forearms. And there's something you can kind of almost tell if you look really closely. It's like snaking up into her other forearm. Her eyes look like the cut end of a fiber optic cable, like her irises. She doesn't actually have like hair that's falling down. She has a bunch of fiber optic cables and wires that are just wrapped around her head, kind of like a scarf.
Nice.
And on her back, there's maybe like a backpack or a power pack or something, and that's actually attached to her body. And she seems very neutral in expression most of the time. It's not like she has resting you-know-what face, but she's very, very close. And she seems to be observing everything, maybe a little bit, I don't want to say unsettling, but in the kind of way that somebody who is trying to maybe take mental notes of everything that they see would observe things. And that's Keziah.
And it's Keziah?
Yeah, with a K.
So this little Yifriti girl, she looks like a teenager. She could be older. She's short, chubby, extremely cute, has short crop black hair, comes bounding up to you. I haven't met you before. Hi, I'm Alecto. Nice to meet you. You look interesting.
Hello. You may call me Keziah. I saw your image earlier. You were on the train?
I was on the train. Were you on the train as well? That was crazy.
I was on the train. I am a doctor. I was on the train to provide medical services. I assume from your outfit you were an entertainer?
A dancer. Although that's not what I normally do. That was kind of my cover. Maybe I've said too much already. Anyway, I'm normally a martial artist. I came from a monastery in a very far away backwater planet. You probably never heard of it. I'm not trying to sound like a cool indie person. That's just the fact of the matter, because it was way far away from everything. And this is all new to me. This is really crazy.
I have seen dances performed where martial arts was used in place of dance moves. Is this what you were doing?
I suppose so. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing other people did. That sounds really cool.
This makes sense. And she's just kind of like staring at you now.
So mistletoe is a big, very large Vorok with like purple body modded skin and like fake hair over the back of her head. She wears like a combat vest, and it seems like she's always flexing, but she's rarely flexing on purpose. But yeah, she is greeting all the goons and whatnot, just like shaking their hand and being all excited. And she says, so what's your deal, lady? What do you do?
As I said, I am a doctor.
Oh, a doctor. Okay. Yeah. Well, I bet there's hurt people around here you could treat. I got poisoned really bad, but I'm fine now. And she looks not quite fine. She was attached to a med bay chair for a while, but probably needs some more sophisticated medical attention.
I will examine her.
Like right here? I bet they have a bathroom or something in the back. I get a little embarrassed.
Please hold still.
Okay, and Gail's there too.
I put the kitten back on her shoulder.
Oh, summoned kitty. What does it look like this time?
It's a tuxedo cat this time
Oh, nice.
to match everyone's
Aw.
nice outfits.
That's cute. Missile is utterly transfixed and goes off to. Oh wait, you're trying to examine her, so she.
Yeah, this is to distract her so that she can get examined.
Yeah, she puts up with it. So, Gail, you want to introduce or show
Yes,
what you look like?
you see showing up much slower than the other two. A very pale Zentraedi woman in a floor-length like ball gown, like navy blue ball gown, dark blue hair, and honestly, like looks pretty mundane for what the Zentraedi normally look like. Probably someone who has been fascinated with other expressions and tries to blend in as much as possible. I believe. Am I still wearing the Virtua goggles?
You have them. I mean, you can. They're like real sort of thin because most of what they do is a screen
Yeah.
in front of your eyes. But you can take them on and off. You can pop them up on your forehead.
Yeah. No, I imagine I don't take them off that often. So.
So yeah, your lens is clicked up or something.
Yeah, I imagine I wear them much like one of those like big goggle kind of things.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a thin thing, so it looks kind of just like a hairband.
Yeah, I mean, you could skin them to look like goggles like that if you want. That could be fun.
Well, yeah, but we just grabbed them off of someone, so I don't think we would have done that yet.
Oh, yeah, they need a little tinkering. That's right.
Yeah. I will eventually do that, but no, they just look like regular Virtua goggles. Heels that she is trying very hard to walk in
Oh, nice. Yeah.
because she wasn't used to it, you know? You can tell.
Yeah, her feet are probably killing her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell
Imagine
yeah.
So,
Running around and shooting.
I've been casting healing spells on myself left and right.
why are you wearing those?
Well, I mean, I was one of the more low. I was a magician. The entertainment on the train. Were you on the? You're there as well.
Yes, I was on the train. But I was not there for entertainment. I was there for medical aid. That is why I do not have shoes like that.
Yeah, no, I get that's probably more sensible. For sure.
So you run a scanner over poor Missile, and it turns out that she's still pretty dehydrated. She could use a I don't know, blood booster. Sort of an antiviral cocktail and plenty of good night's sleep and probably a light pain reliever.
Okay.
She's like, okay. And the colony doctor is going to procure whatever prescription for her.
That's one fucked up Capri Sun she needs.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood booster. What the hell? So, yeah, the rest of y'all sit in these chairs, and the colony people, there's a bunch of them. I don't have to list them all out, but I'll drop them in the chat if you're interested. There's Abby, Norv, and Kihar, of course, from before. Mm-hmm. There's Soraya, Ronil. Oh, there's a Yifriti magic user named Theodosius Green. There is a Zentraedi guardian named Faraj. Those two are together. Green's assistant, Naomi Callis. She's a Voraki trans woman, budding sorcerer, first child born on the colony. So she's like, I don't know, 40. She's become the most hopeful member of the colony. Oh, so she's a real chipper, hopeful. And I think that'll probably do it.
Yeah.
Faraj has a cyber arm and a cyber eye. He looks really hard, like he's probably killed a bunch of people.
Oh, fun.
And yeah. So for Kristy, Abby, Norv, and Kihar were the people that rolled with the other team there. Norv is a Zentraedi pilot. Abby is a Yifriti scavenger. She makes armor, among other things. And then Kihar is a Vorak tech. He has a broken ankle. It's been healed as much as a magician can do, but could probably use a fresh setting and I don't know, whatever, sci-fi medical treatment.
Okay.
So yeah, their doctor arrives and starts looking him over, and y'all can talk shop if you want. Yeah.
I think I'm just looking at Keziah's rafted tech and just kind of not talking or anything, just observe it, looking at it, trying to gather what it is.
Do you have a question?
I'm sorry. The tech kind of like all over you was really interesting. What does all that do?
Most of it is for medical purposes.
So I'm guessing the wrist gauntlet, I guess you got there is like a scanner?
No.
Huh. So what, does it just read? Well, what's so funny about this?
No, I'm laughing. She's not laughing.
Oh, that's out of character laughing.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's just standing there staring at you. Like, no.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God.
No.
Holy shit. Gail's an observer. This person took it
Probably.
to the next level.
Well, that's great because, the Alecto and Gale and Missile were all entirely way too ridiculous and just silly. So we've met
Bring
our
it down
match.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course, Missile tells the entire tale of your brave adventures, your daring do. And then we climbed on top of the train, and there were robot drills, and Missile shot him with magic, and like we punched out the bad guys, and
Then we had snacks.
yeah, and that was like the first 2 minutes of the story, and it went on from there. They crash landed on the planet similar to you. They were working their way off the beach and ran into colonists, Norv, Abby, and Kiar, and then they made their way into the hinterland where they encountered the Skull Jaguars, who are a breakaway group of colonists who fly these cool speeder bike things that become like standy robots, whatever. And yeah, so they chased y'all. There was some robot dogs that got beat up and like a weird creature in the river. And then the people they were with, the House Terusian people, beat up the colonists and took their gear and tried to they were preparing to cross the river. And that's when our team set upon them and killed one of them and captured the others. And that's pretty much it, right? Except for whatever stuff happened at the bunker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of but we don't need to get into that.
What did you guys do?
I don't know. What did we do?
So you treated the wounded. You had to leave some of the survivors back there. So the colony is sending people to bring them in. And you worked your way through the jungle, fought a bunch of weird local animals, and arrived at the colony entrance.
Okay, so that's it. I didn't. No other daring do.
Oh, I mean, if you wanna pretend, and I mean, we could make up like you were jumping off of trees and whipping wolves or whatever. We can we have a quick montage of the like Zed popping off shots and all kinds of acrobatics. Popple Junzel had a missile on his chair for some reason. Yeah. Also, it rained. But, yeah.
I did not enjoy that.
Nice. So we're all caught up. Dylan talks about the creature that y'all ran into that sort of kidnapped / rescued Halima.
Right.
If you remember.
Yeah. I remember the radioactive dirt guy.
Yeah, you blew up the tunnel to his lair, and possibly him. So, yeah, they're pretty excited about that. They like any new intel about the colony or this continent, itself. So that's Dylan's report. And so after you've had your finger foods and chatted and stuff, Soraya says, I plan to give a speech to the colony here soon. Would any of you like to speak?
Alecto has a mouthful of food. She's just way too happy eating and drinking everything in sight, and just says,
What are we supposed to speak about?
Anything you like. Tell us about the outside galaxy, the war, anything.
God, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to a whole lot of it. I was a homebody for about 98% of my life, so I was a kid when it ended.
Ah, I see. Well, perhaps you can tell us about the, what did you call it? Missiles chewing on a sandwich. Oh, the collapse! Ah, yes, the collapse. You can probably tell us what it was like to grow up during that time. And Missile's like, yeah, it was terrible. Totally terrible. People died. It was starving. All kinds of stuff. People talk about it all the time back home. I don't pay that much attention. And scarf some more sandwich.
It didn't hit the Skyriders that badly.
Yeah, Keziah is just hoity-toity.
Yeah, so y'all can bond over what it was like.
How privileged we are.
Society. Yeah, exactly. What do rich people talk about? Boats?
How big's your lab?
Enormous. I miss it.
I miss mine too.
Is there any kind of poetry or something that Keziah could like search her mental data banks for and recite?
Oh, you've got a quote for every occasion. Yeah, so Mati Al-Bashar, Zentraedi poet, you bust out some of his latest verses on the tragedy and pain of the collapse and the slow return to a better life or whatever. He was imprisoned several times by the authorities. He's a windrunner. Yeah, all his brothers were in and out of prison. Yeah, so we can write some poetry off air, but yeah, you tell something about inspirational, and Gail knows it
doing an
by
interpretive dance.
Ooh. Everybody stops cold. Holy shit, art? And they all like pay close attention. The magic user starts like clapping.
Oh, we should
And,
both cast light.
Yes. Wait, do I have light? Fuck.
Yeah, you can do it at
man.
will.
You see the security.
Yeah.
You see the security chief is looking at you, and she is just like half annoyed, half impressed. She's Zentraedi, and then Soraya is Zentraedi as well, and she's in tears. You know, she's totally moved by your reading, and she says, "Perhaps you could do that for us. Let's go." And she leads everyone out to the podium, and she addresses the colony, and she says, "Friends, you honor us with your presence. Devarakar colony has suffered through great hardships, but the end of that has come. Please welcome our brave heroes, new arrivals from outside. Please join us." And Missile tromps up onto the lectern and or the podium or whatever, gets up to the lectern, and she grabs one of the mics and has it in her hand or whatever, and she says, "We're not really heroes exactly. More like just cool people from out of the sky. But yeah, we're here. We actually don't know how to get back, so we were actually going to ask you if you had some
I
way."
grabbed the mic. I grabbed the mic. I'm like, I'm pretty sure once we figured things out, we weren't going to ask you how to get back.
Everybody looks confused.
But we are also a little stuck here.
Yeah. Alecto, Keziah, you wanna step up and say anything?
I take a sash, lift up a sash from and I wipe my mouth on it, and kind of hop up onto the stage. Hi.
Yay! Like
Wow.
a third of them are Yifriti, and so the second they see you, they're like excited, and then when you say hey, they just like break out into open applause.
Hi. I don't know. I've never spoken in front of people like this before. It's incredibly terrifying, and I will be leaving now.
One of them says, "You're doing great."
So, yeah, this is Gail, and hi.
One of the Zentraedi is like, Gail, who is your family?
Oh, I was with the Zobbers.
Zobbers, and they're all like murmuring, and this family kind of weaves their way through the crowd, and the mother asks, "How are things back at Sunrise City?"
Would I recognize it as a Windrunner or a Sky Rider?
Oh no, it's one of the Sky Cities. It's the one you lived on.
Okay.
Where a lot of your family were. They were scattered all over, but
it's doing, I mean, about as well off as it's always been. I didn't go exploring a lot. I mostly just was in my lab.
One of the nerdy guys is like, "Oh, what was your lab? What did you study?" And everybody's like, "Shh," Soraya comes up, question time is over, kind of, and says, "We also have with us this esteemed woman, Keziah." And now the Zentraedi are really worked up, because here comes another one. They're really excited.
Oh no. I've noticed a number of you are in need of dental and skin services.
You got that right.
Please form an orderly line. I will begin assisting you as soon as I am able.
Soraya steps up to the mic and she says, that's great. Yeah, we could always use another doctor. Let's wait till things have dispersed a bit. Let's set that up for tomorrow. It is getting late. And the crowd is all murmuring. They're all excited. And she says, Keziah read a poem not too long ago, and it was so moving to us that we thought maybe you would read it again.
Did you not hear it the first time?
No, you were back in the audience room. She's like, could you read it to the crowd?
Gotcha. Sorry. I cut out.
Give me a performance check as you recite.
Good Lord.
As you recite this poem.
I assume that's going to be
a D10, yeah.
Fire.
Plus fire. What'd you get?
An 8.
An 8? Like you rolled an 8?
No, like that's my total.
What did you roll on the D10?
A 2.
Oh, a 2. Okay. So you just did bad, but you didn't do like super bad. Like the crowd is straining to hear you at points, and then you're like, you forget a word at one point and you're a bit embarrassed.
She probably just sounds like a robot a lot.
Yes.
This incredibly inspirational poem, and she's just
I have already read this once. Why am I reading it again?
I have good news. I rolled a 12 on the interpretive dance.
Ooh, very good. Very good.
Oh, I could read some haiku.
Ooh, nice.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
Oh, no. That's what? That has more than 5 syllables.
Gail's from the Limerick County of Veritas. So overall you impress the colonists, but mostly what they want is to ask questions about the war and like what's been happening and where have you been, for Christ's sake. That kind of stuff.
Oh, they're going to be bored with me.
And me.
I lived in this temple on this rock, and I spent a lot of time under a waterfall and punching sandbags for a good 20 years.
Cool. That was a kid in the front row. Yeah.
Oh, the kids are probably going to love you.
Hell yeah.
Me too. I love kids. I've never seen kids before. Kids are amazing. They smell funny.
Wait, were there no kids on the monastery?
No, it was a monastery.
But you grew up on the monastery.
It's a long story. I was brought there as a child.
Yeah.
I was the only child I knew.
She sprung fully formed from a rock.
I'm an orphan. It was a Lunari monastery too.
Full-blown
was
Jack
really
disease.
Yeah.
So
Came out of the womb with a briefcase and a punch.
Totally. So the crowd disperses. I'm going to say Soraya takes you on a tour of the colony and introduces you to the various departments, shows you the different laboratories and engineering shop and, vehicle place and botany place and, I don't know, all kinds of different locations. There's a commissary, a big mess hall, and then there's the kind of associated suburbs that have been carved into the jungle off to the north and west. And so once that's over, there's a big party and drinks and dancing and singing, and it's a real Ewok village kind of situation.
Plenty of pizza supplied by Papa Junsel.
Yes, Papa Junsel and his boys work up some pasta. Little
He says nobody
antipasto.
out pizzas the hut, and they were all like, "That's not the right one." You fucked
What's
up,
a
Papa
hut?
Junsel.
Oh yeah, they've totally got a pizza oven here. We got some wood fire pizza going.
Alecto drinks way too much, and she's really funny at first, but then she kind of gets melancholy.
So 2 drinks.
Yes.
She puts on her headphones and like hangs out on the side of the away from everybody.
Yeah, and so anything y'all want to do during this party? Anyone you want to chat with?
I forget. Did we suspect Papa Junsel of being part of the Children of Slain or not?
He's Yifriti, so that would be awfully strange because they're sort of a
so
Lunari
no.
first group.
We were just supposed to smooze with him.
Yes, he might have something to do with the secret project that the vampire lady was in a meeting about. Yeah, there's a vampire lady just walking around. She turned into bats at one point. Yeah, you're pretty sure they're all criminals, but you don't know who they work for or if anybody.
Yeah.
But Papa Junsel is like, he's like the John Gotti of that era, kind of. He's got something to do with Antares getting all taken over by a dictator. That's the asteroid base where he is most influential.
Can you remind me how long we said my invisibility totem lasts for?
Half hour? Hour?
Wonderful. Half hour is more than enough. I'm going to go ahead and give that baby a squeeze and just go kind of like invisibly hang out by Papa Junsel.
Nice. Like trying to overhear shit.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a perception check and you'll get +4.
Oh, that's not great. I think. Can I count this as investigation?
Yeah. Okay, sure. You got time to, peek, look around, listen.
All right. I just wanted to get rank in it real quick.
Nice. So yeah, you're peeping, you're eavesdropping. And our doctor lady, I assume you're doing all sorts of free readings. Readings? It's not astrology, Jeff. Consultations. There you go.
No, she's decided to change her profession. She's gonna whip out some tarot cards, some crystals.
Burn some candles.
Yeah. She smells like incense all of a sudden for a weird reason.
Nice.
No, yeah. She will, as long as nobody makes a fuss about it, she will set up her little makeshift, I can't even really call it a clinic, line or whatever, near to Papa Junsel and his guys, hoping some of them will actually come over and be like, hey, my arm still hurts or something.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
One of the goons has had a concussion this whole time. You wondered why he was wobbling.
So, but yeah, she's fixing teeth and curing blemishes.
And you meet senior physician Duo. He is a small Gilmorian. He makes the prosthetics for the colony. And you get to chatting.
Are they in need of a lot of prosthetics?
Oh, just some, vehicle crashes and so on. The scientist Ronil Helicon is missing a leg, and he made her a leg, but she doesn't like it. So he's always getting after her to train with it. That's the only way it gets better. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, the doctor starts bitching to you about the various colonists that don't take care of their health. And this old lady that comes up, he's like, he's like, I've asked you like several times to see me for this.
I don't like you. This one's new. Haven't heard of a second opinion?
You should listen to your doctor.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
I'm getting a third opinion.
The astrologer tells me it's bad thinking in my liver.
Your liver cannot think.
That's what I told him. Enough foolishness. Gail, you did really good on perception, and you learned that the gangsters are want to get out of here. They want to reconnect with the station as quickly as possible. If there's ships here, they need to get those powered up and get off the planet. So start mingling and getting information, finding out who the players are here, and then Papa Junzel like schmoozes the leaders, and chats with the children of the colony, and just generally is friendly and trying to ingratiate himself.
Did they name drop anyone that they need to get back to?
Yes. Dr. Frentz was on the train, and as best you can figure, he was there to find out about this secret project, and he told Junzel that he'd fill him in once they find out what it is and what the action is. Junzel hates Dr. Frentz, thinks he's a total prick, but he runs the station, so he puts up with his foolishness. But he was on the train to keep an eye on the guy, so he didn't double cross him. Hence the goons. And that's Junzel. I think that's mostly what you get.
All right.
He names a bunch of other people, but nobody that's like shocking or unusual.
Excellent. I stroll up to Alecto and start messing with the wire to her headphones.
She drops her headphones down. What do you want, Gail?
Wait, how did you know it was me?
Oh, you're invisible. Forgot you're invisible. So yeah, Alecto was fair, but must have had way too much to drink, and she staggers backwards and like starts yanking at her, looking confused.
So you're just pranking her.
Yeah.
Nice.
Walking around in circles. She's obviously had way too much to drink.
So some people noticed some blurring around Alecto, and they're like, one of the kids is like, what's going on over there? And this 10-year-old girl just runs into your shins, and she's like, it's a person. And the crowd goes wild.
Alecto's like starts punching at the air.
Roll with disadvantage.
I'm gonna avoid the PvP. You basically like duck.
No, I want it. I want it.
All right. Roll. It's gonna be -6 to hit. You can roll dodge.
I rolled a
Gail.
1.
Ooh. Okay, it's just a regular failure. You're punching around. You're drunk too, so
Right.
I see the punch and I end it. For real quick.
like you end the invisibility.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh. The colonists are like, whoa, that's so cool.
Alecto stops for a minute and goes, whoa, that's so cool.
That's like a cloaking device, some kid says. That girl that ran into you, I guess.
Alecto, do you need to go to bed?
Yes.
Hey, is there any place to sleep at all.
I can lay down right here. This is a good spot.
Honey, no. We talked about this.
Fun story. We didn't have alcohol at the monastery.
Oh, did you not?
I like alcohol. It's good.
I bet you do.
So up comes this really large, like, bunch of pecs, burly Zentraedi. His name's Faraj. He's got like a scant and like a sash. He looks real official. And he's got like a stun baton on his waist. And he comes over and he's like, ladies, let me direct you to your accommodations. We've put out fresh linens and so on. And he says the same to you, Keziah. And so the next 20 minutes or whatever are you guys finding your rooms and getting settled. And yeah.
As usual, Alecto grabs a blanket, lays on the floor. It's where she's used to sleeping. Does not like the bed.
I grab the blanket from my bed and bring it into Alecto's room because I do not want her sleeping alone right now.
Nice. Very cool.
God forbid she throws up.
Yeah, I think Missile falls asleep immediately, just face down on the bed and like kind of. It's Vorox made it so it doesn't break immediately, but it sponges way down, and she goes to sleep. Y'all are bunked up in Alecto's room, and Keziah, do you want to single or do you want to buddy up with anyone?
Well, first, before I choose that, she will actually follow Alecto, and she'll follow them into Alecto's room. And after Alecto passes out, she will give Alecto some saline and explain this is merely saline so that she does not wake up with a raging headache.
And, nice.
I mean, is it like a big room or is it just like a normal single room?
Oh yeah, it's really big. Yeah, it's fancy for a colony like this that sort of got stuck 30 years ago. So the fashions are pretty old timey, before your time.
Grandma decorated it.
Oh yeah, there's an Afghan over at the left seat.
Yeah.
Really low coffee tables.
Macrame plant hangers.
Wicker chairs everywhere.
Wicker, yep. Yeah. And there's food and there's drinks in the mini fridge and so on and so forth.
Thank you for helping.
Of course. Would you like me to stay and make sure that she is all right?
That's what I'm here for. You're welcome to stay if you'd like, but I figure you may want the comfort of some alone time.
Okay. And she'll go.
Okay, nice. So I figure you try to reach your boss and like doesn't go through, so you're kind of on your own. They give you a single. So yeah, you'll have to decide what you do going forward because you have no orders. But those ladies seem friendly. Maybe you can get to know them and learn some more stuff.
Okay.
That night, when everyone's asleep or staying up late for some reason, yellow lights come on in your rooms, and you hear people running in the hallways outside, and there's some lights turning on out in the main square.
Okay.
Please don't be hungover. Please don't be hungover. Please don't be hungover. Alecto?
I have very, very strong constitution. So do you want me to make any roll?
No.
Okay, yeah, she just pops up like
You got salined.
I got salined.
And you look out and you see a blasted door off the the brig kind of area, and a couple security officers writhing on the ground in front of it, and there's people rushing to give aid, and you see a flickering light. It's right across the way, a flickering light inside the brig, and no activity in there. And somebody shouts, "The prisoners! They've escaped!"
Those assholes.
Fuck.
So I guess that'll do it for the evening. Yeah, that's what happened there. And post, the credits go. There's some music, and you see it cuts over to the Terusian agents like hustling their way through the jungle, and they've just got a few possessions, whatever they could yank off the security guards. And the rain is really heavy, and the boss looks at the other two and she says, "Let's go find the night fires. I think we'll get along just fine." And the other two are like, "Hell yeah." And they head out through the darky jungle. The darkening jungle. The darkest. It's the dark. There's not a lot of light out.
It was arguably
Good times.
none because of dark.
Likes and wishes. Did any of your colleagues here do anything that you enjoyed, that you thought was exciting, inspiring, hilarious? Now's your chance to throw some praise around.
Well, it is so great to have our esteemed doctor with us now. I think is going to be a great compliment to the two fools that are left in our group.
Finally, a scientist on the team that actually knows some science.
Unfortunately, that's all she knows. I really liked your little invisibility totem thing and going over and being all sneaky. And then, of course, going and messing with Alecto, because that's always fun. But it's so sad Alecto got sad.
Yeah, I've heard like Alecto's a lot more complicated than just a punch monkey.
Well, as it should be.
That's funny, punch monkey. She's a monk.
I didn't mean that. But that's it. That's yeah.
AJ, anything stand out for you tonight?
Anthony, you have a really good drunk voice.
Years of practice. The liver to prove it.
Heck yeah. Well, I hope there weren't too many characters. My descriptions weren't very detailed, but I figured next time we can all like hone in on one or two.
Yeah.
So there's less me talking to myself. Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you so much, Kristy, for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
This is so much fun.
I like your random lineup medical clinic. It's very nice.
Yeah, that was my favorite entrance to anything. And here's a doctor. I see that a lot of you have some dental work that needs to be kept up with.
Please use skin
You are
moisturizer.
Yes, you are all disgusting.
Y'all look fucking wretched. I'm sorry that this was allowed to happen.
So everybody gets an action point. So mark that somewhere on your character sheet. Those you can use to re-roll or add 5 to a roll. Gotcha. And yeah, That's that. Anything else? Oh, wishes. Is there anything you'd like to see? Any sort of environment? Any sort of quest or genre? Role-playing experience between characters that sometimes, can be fun.
Well, it would be good to get back to our Children of Slain main quest at some point.
Get off this planet? Yeah, that could work.
I think, I'm not sure what theme goes along with trying to figure out probably just like an escape theme because we got to find a way to get everyone off this planet.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe like a heist or something.
Yeah.
Got to reestablish contact with the outside world. I keep wanting to say outside world, but it's really other worlds. It's very confusing.
Yeah. Well, this world is technically inside of a lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus there's other dimensions. I don't think we've gone to them yet, but there's all kinds of shit.
Other dimensions.
Mm-hmm. There's also time travel.
Don't throw in multiverse yet.
Okay.
That's book 2 and 3. Yeah.
Step 1, find a way to get us and everyone else off the planet. Step 2, fuck up the Children of Slain. Step 3, we're going to fucking dimensions.
Yes. Hell yeah. All right, gang. Oh, and also the Oakleaf Society's original quest, which was to find out what that secret project was and find out how you can who all is a part of it. So now you know that Dr. Frentz was in that room and the vampire lady whose name isn't coming to me right away.
Something with an A, like an Amaya or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Amaya or whatever the fuck.
Amaya or whatever the fuck. What's her last name? Or whatever the fuck.
All right, folks. That'll do it for tonight. How do we find you on the internet?
I used to be on Twitter, but apparently that is dying and may be dead by the time this airs. In fact, most likely be dead by tomorrow.
Oh my God.
But you can find me on mastodon.online, my / at Dr. Mod, DOKTORMOD.
AJ, you got anything for us?
I'm too lazy to change my shit. It's still AJ_GANAROS on Twitter. It's still HA_the_Slayer on Instagram and TikTok. And you can always find me on Christmastide, Ohio, which is my other podcast that I played Kids on Bikes in with a bunch of my friends. We solve mysteries in a Christmas town over the course of some school years.
Heck yeah. And Kristy?
I am currently still kind of on Twitter. I resurrected my Tumblr for some reason, and I guess I am kind of on Instagram, sort of. They all have the same username. It's Kmitko3, KMITKO, and the number 3. So try.
Excellent. You can listen to our D&D side quest right here on the main feed, and all my other shows are on hiatus, or I refuse to admit that they may never come back. So
that just creates a vacuum for new shows.
Yeah,
exactly. But those are The War for the Tower, Everything is Awesome, and Foolish Wits is probably gone. Good Idea is it's definitely
Good
off.
Idea's dead.
I loved it so much. I tried to listen to it a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh man, it's gone. It didn't last. But anyway, so The War for the Tower and Everything is Awesome are the ones that are probably still going at some point.
You know what hit me real weird too this year is that like I just realized that Bim Bam's tweeting about Till Death Do Us Blart, and I was like, oh, Polidarity's gone.
My favorite thing. We were going to do an annual episode about listening to a podcast, which is about a movie. It was very meta, and it was great. We were supposed to do it every year, but we just did the
Ended real quick.
real quick. So Shattered Worlds RPG at gmail.com. That's the email. On Twitter at SWRPGpod. And probably some other social media at some point. Facebook page is Shattered Worlds RPG. Facebook group is True Heroes of Shattered Worlds RPG. Get over there, get to know us in a non-actual way. Like an online friend kind of way. Hit us up over there. Share your thoughts. And please talk about the show. Get the word out there. We do this for us, but also for you, listener. Mwah.
Mwah. Mwah.
Keep it rolling.
Take care of your skin and teeth.
Nailed it. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
That was a great way to end. That was amazing.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
Anything else? Do you have any questions, feelings? How did it go? What'd you think?
Had fun.
Just fine? Okay, we'll have to
No,
make
I
it
said fun.
even more
fun.
fun.
F-U-N.
Wrong vowel.
Ooh, F-U-N. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah. I love fun.
Who doesn't?
It was
Me.
fine.
It's me, a real heel.
It's okay, I guess.
I can't believe Gail yanked out the headphones of poor Alecto. That is.
I didn't yank out
brutal.
the headphone. I just wanted to play with the wire.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad.
I just wanted to spook her a little bit.
You got big spooked, big drunken spooked. I know that. I know what that was like.
Happy Turkey Day, y'all.
Happy
Yay.
turkey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, eat them up. Love you. Bye.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.